Okay, guys, so today it's a really sunny day out, and I went out, noticed how hot it was, and came back home and decided to make a recap on my whole entire experience at the enhypen concert. Shout out to my bestie Camelia that went with me. We went to Chicago and we met the sweetest engine there. I was actually really intimidated pre-concert time, I guess, right when I was basically standing the group without actually going to any of their events. I was really intimidated by engine because the majority are either crazy or just really nice people that I just haven't met yet. And I've always felt that need of genuine connection with people in person. So I wasn't really connecting with any online until I actually went to the event. So our first day consisted of arriving to Chicago. And that was actually one of the most hectic days since we needed to take certain public transportation methods. And it was kind of crazy for the first time actually being on a full bus with our heavy ass luggage. But we made it, and after we had arrived at our Airbnb, we decided to go to kpop. Right when we arrived, we met this engine girly that was talking about a line leader. Girl, we had heard the news about the whole like New York thing going on, and I wasn't buying it. So me and Game left Kpop after getting our albums because the lucky draws were the cutest thing ever. We had to get them. So when we headed to the event, we noticed that we had to immediately leave Kpop and jump to the United Center ASAP to see what the hell is a line leader. And we're met with this group of girls that were camping with a tent and everything. And they were taking numbers and names. No last names. Like, how are you supposed to know there aren't two Gabrielas or two Camelias or two Sophia? Like, no last names, which is really weird. We got our numbers, and I got 134, and Kame got 135. It was really weird since we didn't know what we were supposed to do. We just got our numbers, and we sat down with the rest of the people that were camping. And we met up with so many new engine. Shout out to all of them, actually. They're the sweetest people ever. And they started asking questions. They didn't know what to do. So we explained the majority of the situation that was going on, but nobody was giving anyone the full information. They told us to mark our names down to get a number. When you get your number, you get a wristband. And when you get your wristband, you had to text the official line leader, because apparently the one that talked to us was her assistant, because the real line leader was in her hotel room resting because she had back pain, quote unquote. Like, I don't know where the hell she was, or if she was actually at her hotel room and not at Kpop having fun getting some air conditioning and some lucky draws. Like, we didn't know where we stood, so we decided to stay. We stayed, and we met so many other fans asking questions, and we created a group of around 15 to 20 people. All of us, we placed together all night at the United Center's parking area. So we just sat there, we got some blankets, we ordered food, we got drinks, we got Gatorades and electrolytes to make sure that we were hydrated and okay to spend the night. And immediately when we did, we stayed from 5 p.m. from the time that we arrived at the United Center till 1 p.m. the next day. So we spent 22 hours outside of our Airbnbs and hotel rooms to spend the night and make sure that the line leader was actually honoring our spot. Around 3 a.m., all of us were kind of sleepy. We wanted to rest up and get ready for the event. So we were all sleeping in our carpets, like in our blankets and whatnot. And we see this random ass girl get out of an Uber and walk and cut the line to like third, fourth place. When my friend opened her eyes to make sure to see who this was, when she opened her phone to compare who this girl looked like, it was Lana from the New York Problem line leader shit that went down at that time. It was insane. When we noticed that was her, we freaked. We freaked and started tweeting about it. There was no way we were not gonna let anybody like suffer the same problem that they had created in New York City. Like, no, this is Chicago, and if you paid for your VIP 1 ticket, you're gonna make the line the same way that everyone else is doing it. Girl, go to the back, bitch, like, please. So we started talking about it and we started freaking out. The majority of us stood up and did a lap just to make sure it was her, and we confirmed. She met up with some friends that had already been camping, and she cut the line to sit with them and immediately fell asleep. Super comfortable. Good for you. But we were so pissed. I personally could not sleep. I stood up all night just making sure that my friends were okay, that everyone was okay, and that no one else cut the line, because I, for one, hated the fact that we were placed numbers 1, 3, 4, but there was a potential opportunity to be an even greater number just because people were cutting line. Like, no. So immediately when we did make sure that was Lana, we tried to get back to sleep. We ate more, we rested till around 10 a.m. that a lot of people were already tweeting that we had been camping, that we were already there hours previous to the event or hours previous to the actual line formation time or whatever. So around 10 a.m. a lot of people started arriving and started to see us camping, and the majority were not having it. They were trying to revolt and talking badly about us on how camping will not be honored and how our wristbands will not be honored. At the end of the day, they were right, but we didn't know that. So that's why we stood there all night, and we took the time to stay all night camping to make sure that if we were honored, we were there to physically keep our spot, and if it wasn't honored, we would be one of the first people to get in line. So till around 11, the lines were reorganized because they started kicking out people that were literally protesting that their wristbands, their fan-made wristbands, were legit and were important to them, and they did not want to go to the back of the line. So a lot of the security guards started fighting with these people to take off their wristbands to get to the back of the line because the official line was being recreated. So we got numbers 50 for the VIP2 section, and we were really happy, even though we did see a lot of people cut line. But I'm not gonna get into that. If not, my gray hairs were gonna start like popping out of my head. So immediately when we noticed that everyone stopped giving a shit and formed the line and made sure to get ready for when we got our official wristbands, the event took a lot longer than what we thought. The lines were a lot longer than what we thought, and I think people were really unprepared when it comes to staff, because they left us around an hour and a half outside in the burning sun with no water to distribute between all of us. And we did see staff distributing water between each other, like from staff member to staff member. You're not taking care of your fans. That is a terrible, terrible representation of your brand or your company, whatever. It's on you. So we stood for like an hour and a half waiting for our official wristbands, and once we got them, it was 1:30, and they said be back here by 3 because sound check is at 3:30. Huh? Girl, we had to haul ass to our Airbnb, shower quickly because we were not gonna be one of those stinky girlies at the front in VIP stinking up the place. Like, we were not gonna do that. We actually considered giving out deodorants and perfume as freebies, but that's way too expensive, so maybe next year. So we went back, we showered, we hydrated as best as we could. We didn't have time to eat anything, and took some airplane snacks that we had stashed on our backpacks and ate them on the Uber on the way there. So when we got to the event, it was around 3, and around 3:15, we had a lot of time to give out freebies, and we met so many nice people. We met up with our camping friends and we saw their outfits. Like, girl, you clean up nice. We loved the outfits. We did talk a lot. We had fun. And right around 3:30, it was time for formation for sound check. So we got in line and we entered the venue. Immediately saw the VIP gifts, which are actually over here. I should get them. Okay, so I changed up the scenery a little bit. I just sat down and now I'm using a pillow because I actually think that talking about like a story time would be a lot more comfortable on my rug. So hope the view is kind of cute. So to confirm, this is the wristband that they gave out at the event. Got ready and wore our lanyard as well. And it was way too quick. Like, the whole process of preparing for the concert was not like enough. I needed like an hour to get ready, but we went into the actual venue and had our lines already prepared, and we passed through security. They gave us our VIP merch. I can't say I'm overjoyed with the merch this year. Like, they could have done a better job. They do have this whole like casket thing, which is really cute. Like, okay, I have to admit, it's really cute, especially since it's about to be October. This is perfect to decorate your room. So you do have the whole concept on Bad Desire, I think it was. It was so cool. So you have like the vampire mansion, you have the glasses on the actual mansion, and then the whole scene when the members, some are going up and some are going down. So you can see the difference in quality from last year's like Fate tour. That merch, that whole merch line was so good. Like, the VIP gifts were amazing. It was that whole casket and 3 walk the line pins. From what I learned from my best friends, as long as we place them on our purses, on like our job clothing or caps, it's really useful. It's really cute. But then again, comparing it to Fate's tour, Fate was giving. Fate was actually budgeted. Girl, it had a lot of stuff. So immediately when we got our gifts, we jumped to the first walking down the stairs scene, when you notice how close you actually are to the stage. And me and Kame posted our bodies in front of the barricade that's right next to like the stairs on the left side if you're looking at the stage. And we were the second line from barricade. So it was barricade, a group of girls, and then us. The view. I'm gonna actually add some clips here from like my experience. I'm gonna talk through it, but I barely remember anything because I was jumping for joy. Everything went so well. The majority of the engine there were super dynamic. They were dancing, they were singing, they weren't recording as much. So I was actually really happy to be part of the Chicago crowd, especially when we all had decided to not let Sunu speak from the amount of cheers that he was getting. We love him to bits. So it was a great show. Soundcheck was crazy. The boys were dressed so well. I actually did notice that they had talked about how they do have some positions on stage where they are supposed to cue at, where they're supposed to show up, yes or yes, and then dynamically move throughout the stage depending on their liking. So I did notice that we did gain some attention from certain members more than others, but it was so fun to see them all having fun between each other. And the song choices were amazing. I do love the fact that they did not have one regular version or one studio version. They did have a lot of remixed songs. So that was amazing because you did notice that some songs were cut a bit, but they blended between one another, so they did work super well with each other. And the members were super hyped. They were super excited to be in Chicago. They had missed it so much. I know that is probably their favorite baby from all the US stops, but nobody got outside. I did notice that a lot of people were basically fighting each other, like, no, like LA gets everything, no, but Chicago does too, no, but did you see New York City? We all lost because nobody got outside. So hopefully we can all get some closure as the America stops, seeing if enhypen sings outside in any of the Europe or Asia stops. I hope they do, because it will give me some closure, and I can just wait till next year for next tour. I'll be there. I will be there. Immediately when soundcheck ended, we waited around an hour and a half, or half an hour. It was like an hour and a half. So while all of that was happening, Camelia stayed on the floor just resting her feet because she had just gotten cut on her knee. Bitch, like, the United Center really needs to fix their sidewalks. They're super unlevel, they're not even, and my little girly fell and cut her knee trying to give out freebies, but like crazy. So United Center, please get on fixing your freaking sidewalks, please. They are a walking hazard. So immediately when I see that Gama's like really hurt and she's resting, I decided to get some water. If they could ask you to pay for the air that you breathe, they would. $9 per water. Not in a bottle, in a plastic cup with a straw. I got 2 waters and they were $23. 23. At least they were cold. And immediately when I noticed that I had an hour left, I decided to look for merch. And I asked around, like, where is the VIP area for merch? And all of a sudden, the United Center employees do not know what the hell I'm talking about. So I go to one of the representatives at one of the merch lines and I go, sir, like, do you have any VIP section where people with VIP 1 and 2 can get merch exclusively? And they're like, no, because immediately when the doors open to the actual event, immediately both regular merch and VIP merch have the same stand. I wasn't even gonna try. There were more than 100 people making a line, and I was not about to wait an hour and possibly lose my spot at the actual event for wanting to look for merch. So I decided to look for merch after the event. So we get to the concert. It was packed. Everyone was so loud. Everyone was so excited. They were singing all the songs before the boys arrived. And immediately when the show started, everyone was so excited. Everyone cheered for every single member. Everyone cheered for every single song. And right around our encore, I didn't notice, like, I tried to stay away from all of the set lists just to be sure that whatever comes is a surprise for me. And I'll be doing the same for TXT. I'll be going to their show in New York City. Actually, it's in Newark. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It's crazy to think that I did see TXT in New York City 2 to 3 years ago with a person I'm not going to talk about, but I'm actually going with my girlies this time, and we're going to have so much fun. We're staying a few days extra so we can explore the city and have some fun with, like, our local friends, and they can show us around. Plus, I got to visit Kpop Nara and see if they have some enhypen PCs left. So yes, for me to focus on having fun and not checking out the set list, I actually didn't notice that our send-off... Girl, what send-off? You have VIP too. Our encore songs were Karma, Paranormal, and we got Drunk Dazed Coachella version. I saw the Coachella show with my sister at my grandparents' house on the humongous TV and knew that that song was so iconic that if I ever got the chance to even listen to the original studio version, I would be so lucky. So afterwards, when the event ended, I actually started crying, but while I was crying, I was squatting on the floor collecting all of the confetti that I could. Nothing cuter than the heart styled confetti. I had to get a lot, and I did, and I'm so glad that I did. And immediately when we left the actual area where we were standing, we jumped to the merch lines. We took the chance on checking whether or not they had anything left. The actual jackets went sold out on our sizes in our faces. They did not have pickets. They did not have the lucky draw pickets, and there were no shirts, so we got the caps. It was actually so cute, and I for one really love it so much. I can't actually wear it correctly right now, but sure, let's say that this looks correct. But I loved it so much, plus the enhypen logo at the back really brought my brain to some excitement and some joy, because like I wanted to get some merch at the event, and the rest I can just search up online. I was actually really grateful to be able to be part of the event before it started, even hours before, even a day before, till the end. So I think that's why when I started crying, it was really hard for me to stop, because I invested some time, some money on camping, and it was so worth it at the end, because you meet so many nice people. You get to see your favorite people performing on stage, because I for one have been an engine since October of 2021. Enhypen was actually one of the first ones that I connected with my sister, so we were constantly either talking about enhypen or TXT or BTS. The other groups were more like a me thing, as you can see, but the fact that I was able to see them really struck me, and it's like I never want to leave this place. I never want to not be an engine, and I never want to not be in one of their shows. Like I have to be there all the time now. So in any stop, I'm able to get any seat, even if it's nosebleed. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Now I'm thinking of literal Boss Baby, because I saw the movie not too long ago, and that TikTok is everywhere. So it was a great event, and I couldn't have done it without my sweetest girlie, Camelia. We are actually going together for the TXT concert. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm so excited to do that, as well as one of her closest friends, Amanda. So it's going to be 3 of us having fun, loose in the city. Hopefully, I'm excited to go to the Vivienne Westwood store. Until recently, I always wore these Amazon fake Vivienne Westwood earrings, and I will not take them off for anything. Now I'm wearing some fake chrome heart styled ones. You can probably see it. And yes, I'm influenced by all of the idols that I get to see on my social media and love them so much. It's more of an inspiration more than me trying to copy anyone. But especially in styles, I'm really influenced by the people that I consume on social media, and enhypen is literally the first one. So it had been a while since I had made a vlog. It's been like a month, but it was because this whole transition between work, trip, and then now starting my classes again was pretty hectic. So now that I have that in order, I'm back and will immediately start creating a type of schedule that works with me and does not interrupt my other responsibilities, but I can also create some content for you guys and to just talk. I really miss talking, and just talking about the trip itself was really something I needed to do, just to analyze my whole experience. And I'm probably missing so many details still from the actual concert or the actual commute from Puerto Rico to Chicago and from Chicago back to my island. Like, it's probably something I still and should talk about in the next videos. But if you guys have any questions on how I do it or how you can do it, please do not hesitate to ask, because I love talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.